The concept of a woman with no friends is multifaceted and layered, touching upon personal, societal, and psychological dimensions. On the surface, it may seem like an unusual or unfortunate circumstance, as friendships are often seen as essential to emotional well-being and social fulfillment. However, understanding this situation requires us to look beyond simple assumptions and explore the underlying factors that might lead a woman to find herself without a close social circle. Friendship, while universally valued, is not equally accessible to everyone. Life circumstances, personality traits, and external influences play significant roles in shaping a person's social landscape. For some women, a lack of friends might stem from introverted tendencies or a natural preference for solitude. Being comfortable in one's own company is not inherently negative, yet it can sometimes limit opportunities for forming deep connections. Others may experience a lack of friendships due to practical barriers such as demanding careers, frequent relocations, or caregiving responsibilities that leave little time for socializing. There is also the impact of past experiences. Some women may have faced betrayals or disappointments in their previous friendships, leading them to withdraw and prioritize self-preservation over the risk of emotional vulnerability. In other cases, cultural or societal norms might dictate certain behaviors or expectations that isolate women. For instance, the roles imposed on women in traditional setups often prioritize familial duties over personal relationships, leaving little room for cultivating friendships. It is essential to recognize that the absence of friendships does not always indicate unhappiness or a lack of fulfillment. For some women, the idea of a small or non-existent social circle aligns with their values or lifestyle choices. They may find satisfaction in other forms of connection, such as family relationships, professional collaborations, or individual pursuits. In this context, a woman without friends might not see herself as lacking, but as someone who has found other ways to lead a meaningful life. At the same time, societal perceptions often complicate this narrative. Women without visible social bonds may be unfairly judged as cold, unapproachable, or even selfish. These stereotypes are deeply ingrained in the way society views women, often equating their value with their ability to nurture relationships. Such judgments can add pressure and amplify feelings of loneliness for those who already feel isolated. Understanding the concept of a woman with no friends requires empathy and an open mind. It is a situation shaped by a combination of individual choices, life events, and external influences rather than a reflection of a woman's worth or character. It is important to recognize the diversity of human experiences and acknowledge that the absence of friendships does not define someone's happiness, strength, or ability to connect with others. By reframing our perspectives and offering support where needed, we can create a more inclusive understanding of what it means to lead a fulfilled and connected life, regardless of the number of friends one has. The causes and factors that contribute to a woman having no friends are varied and complex, involving personal experiences, societal influences, and sometimes sheer circumstance. These factors don't operate in isolation, but often intersect in ways that shape a woman's social life. Understanding these causes requires us to explore a variety of elements, ranging from personality traits to external pressures. One of the most significant factors is personality. Introversion is a key trait that can contribute to a woman's lack of friends. Introverts tend to find energy in solitude and may find social interactions draining rather than fulfilling. This natural inclination towards solitude doesn't mean that introverts are incapable of forming relationships. Rather, they may find it more challenging to seek out social opportunities or initiate friendships. Introverted individuals may also have fewer but deeper connections, which might not be immediately visible in broader social circles. This can often be misinterpreted as a lack of friends. Past experiences also play a major role in shaping a person's current social situation. Women who have been betrayed or hurt by close friends in the past may develop a deep sense of caution and reluctance to form new friendships. Emotional wounds can leave lasting scars, leading to a sense of mistrust that makes it harder to open up to others. For example, if a woman has experienced a toxic friendship or betrayal, she may fear the vulnerability that comes with new connections, and as a result may avoid forming friendships altogether to protect herself from further hurt. Life circumstances and events are also crucial factors in determining a woman's social situation. For instance, demanding careers or personal obligations such as taking care of children, aging parents, or a partner can significantly limit the time and energy available for nurturing friendships. Women in such situations may find themselves too busy or exhausted to engage socially, leading to a natural drift away from friends and in some cases isolation. Frequent relocations, whether for work or family reasons, can also make it difficult to build lasting connections. Moving to new cities or countries can disrupt established social networks and make it harder to form new friendships, especially if the woman doesn't have the resources or time to seek them out. Cultural and societal pressures can also be powerful forces that contribute to a woman's lack of friends. In some cultures, women are expected to prioritize family and domestic responsibilities over socializing, which can limit their ability to cultivate friendships. The demands placed on women to fulfill certain roles, such as wife, mother, or caregiver, can leave little room for developing personal connections outside of these responsibilities. Additionally, certain women may face judgment or criticism if they don't conform to societal expectations of social behavior, further isolating them from potential friendships. Personal preferences and choices should also be acknowledged. Some women might simply not place a high value on friendships or social interactions. They may feel fulfilled through other means, such as their work, hobbies, or personal projects, and not actively seek friendships as a source of happiness. In such cases, the absence of friends isn't seen as a deficiency, but as a conscious choice that aligns with their life philosophy. Technology and the rise of digital communication have introduced new dynamics into the social lives of many women. While the internet can create opportunities for virtual connections, it can also foster a sense of superficiality and disconnection. Women who primarily rely on online interactions may find it harder to build genuine, face-to-face friendships, which can lead to feelings of isolation, despite being constantly connected. A woman's lack of friends can result from a combination of personality traits, past experiences, life circumstances, societal expectations, personal preferences, and the influence of modern technology. Each of these factors, alone or in combination, can contribute to her social isolation. Understanding these underlying causes helps us move beyond simplistic judgments and view the situation with greater empathy and nuance. The emotional impact of being a woman with no friends can be profound and multifaceted, affecting various aspects of mental health and well-being. While some women may find strength and independence in solitude, for others, the absence of close friendships can lead to significant emotional challenges, ranging from loneliness and self-doubt to a sense of disconnection and alienation. One of the most immediate emotional impacts is loneliness. Humans are inherently social creatures, and friendships provide essential emotional support, companionship, and a sense of belonging. When a woman lacks these close bonds, it can feel as though a vital part of her emotional world is missing. Loneliness can become a pervasive feeling, leading to a sense of emptiness or isolation. Over time, this isolation can erode self-esteem and self-worth, as the absence of social interaction may make a person feel unimportant or unnoticed. In a world that often values extroversion and social networks, this kind of isolation can exacerbate feelings of inadequacy. Self-doubt is another emotional consequence of having no friends. The lack of external validation or affirmation from a social circle can lead to questions about one's own worth or desirability as a friend. Women who don't have a close-knit group of friends may internalize societal pressures that suggest something is wrong with them. They may wonder if there is something inherently unlikable about them or whether their personality, appearance, or behavior is contributing to their lack of connections. This self-doubt can spiral into a deeper sense of insecurity, leading to avoidance of potential friendships or difficulty trusting others. The sense of disconnection is also an emotional challenge for women without friends. Friendships provide not only emotional support, but also a sense of shared experiences and mutual understanding. Without this, a woman might feel like an outsider, disconnected from the world around her. Social interactions, whether in person or online, often help individuals feel connected to others in their communities. For a woman without friends, even casual conversations can feel hollow, as there is no deeper bond or shared history. This sense of being out of place can be emotionally draining, creating an ongoing struggle to find meaningful connections. Moreover, the emotional burden of societal judgment can amplify these feelings of disconnection. Society often equates a lack of friends with a flaw in character or personality. Women without friends might face judgments that label them as unfriendly, antisocial, or even unworthy of companionship. These external perceptions can become internalized, further deepening emotional pain. Women may feel pressure to conform to social expectations and maintain friendships, even if they feel uncomfortable or overwhelmed by these connections. This pressure can create a cycle of emotional distress, as the woman may either remain isolated or force friendships that don't meet her emotional needs, leading to further disappointment and disillusionment. In some cases, emotional impacts can lead to more severe mental health concerns, such as depression and anxiety. Loneliness, when experienced over an extended period, has been linked to an increased risk of depression. Without the emotional support that friendships typically provide, women may find it more difficult to cope with stressors and negative emotions. Anxiety can also arise from the fear of being judged or rejected by others, making it challenging to approach new people or form new bonds. Over time, These emotional struggles can have a serious impact on a woman's overall mental health and well-being. It is important to recognize that emotional impacts are not necessarily permanent. Women who experience these challenges can find ways to address their emotional needs, whether through therapy, pursuing personal interests, or gradually building new connections. The emotional journey of being without friends may be difficult, but it can also lead to greater self-awareness, personal growth, and the eventual discovery of deeper, more meaningful relationships. With the right support, healing, and self-compassion, the emotional impact of isolation can be alleviated, allowing a woman to regain her emotional balance and sense of connection with others. The societal perception of a woman with no friends is often colored by preconceived notions, stereotypes, and biases, which can have a profound effect on how she is viewed and how she experiences her own social isolation. Friendships are seen as an essential part of a woman's identity and social well-being. A woman without friends may be subject to various judgments that can perpetuate feelings of alienation, shame, and self-doubt. One of the most common stereotypes associated with women who lack friends is the idea that they are somehow unfriendly or unapproachable. Society often places a high value on sociability, and women are frequently expected to be nurturing, caring, and socially adept. A woman without friends can be viewed as falling short of these expectations, leading others to assume she must be difficult to engage with or emotionally distant. These perceptions can make it harder for the woman to break through social barriers and initiate new friendships, as people may avoid her based on these assumptions, further reinforcing her isolation. Another societal judgment is that women without friends are somehow deficient or unworthy of companionship. Friendships are often seen as a validation of one's character, and without these social ties, a woman may be perceived as having an undesirable personality or lacking the qualities that make her attractive as a friend. This judgment can be especially harsh for women because society frequently equates a woman's value with her ability to form and maintain relationships. Women are often expected to be emotionally open, supportive, and engaged in their social circles, and when they fail to meet these expectations, they may face ridicule or pity. There is also a tendency in society to view women without friends as antisocial or even inadequate. This perception often stems from a misunderstanding of the reasons behind a woman's lack of close friendships. Rather than considering individual circumstances or personal preferences, society may jump to the conclusion that the woman has chosen isolation due to negative personality traits or inability to connect with others. This oversimplified view fails to account for the complexities of social relationships, including the role of life circumstances, emotional history, and personal values in shaping one's social network. Women who have experienced betrayal or heartbreak in past friendships, for instance, may not feel ready to open up again, but that doesn't mean they are incapable of forming meaningful connections in the future. The societal pressure on women to maintain friendships can be especially intense in the context of media and popular culture. Movies, television shows, and social media often depict women in tight-knit friendship groups where emotional support, shared experiences, and group activities are central to their lives. These portrayals create a standard that women feel pressured to live up to. If a woman does not fit into this mold, she may feel as though she is failing to meet societal expectations, leading to feelings of inadequacy or shame. Social media, in particular, exacerbates this pressure by showcasing the idealized lives of those with large, active friend groups. The constant exposure to these images can intensify a woman's sense of isolation and heighten her self-consciousness about her lack of social connections. The societal perception of women without friends may also be influenced by gender roles. Women are often seen as the primary nurturers in relationships, whether familial or social. A woman's ability to maintain friendships is sometimes equated with her nurturing abilities, and if she lacks friends, she may be seen as failing in this aspect of her identity. This can be especially difficult for women who place a higher value on personal growth, career success, or individual pursuits, as their choices may not align with traditional ideas of what a woman should prioritize in life. The pressure to conform to these societal ideals can make women feel as though they must either force themselves into friendships or face judgment for not fulfilling these prescribed roles. It is crucial to recognize that societal perceptions are not always accurate or fair. The stigma attached to being a woman without friends often fails to take into account the nuances of personal circumstances. Many women who find themselves without friends may have rich, fulfilling lives in other areas, such as work, family, or personal development. They may not prioritize socializing for various reasons, but this doesn't diminish their value or worth as individuals. In recent years, there has been growing recognition that isolation and solitude are not inherently negative. They can be a necessary part of self-care, personal growth, and emotional healing. Changing these societal perceptions requires a shift in how we view relationships and a greater appreciation for diverse social experiences. The societal perception of a woman with no friends often involves negative stereotypes, misunderstandings, and judgments that can significantly affect her emotional and social well-being. These perceptions are shaped by cultural expectations, media portrayals, and gender norms which fail to recognize the complexity of individual experiences. By challenging these stereotypes and fostering a more inclusive understanding of social relationships, we can begin to shift the narrative and create a more compassionate and accepting view of women who may be navigating life without close friendships. Overcoming the challenges of being a woman without friends can be a difficult and emotional journey, but it is not an impossible one. It requires a combination of self-reflection, resilience, and intentional actions aimed at breaking through isolation and building meaningful connections. While the process is unique to each individual, several key strategies can help women navigate the emotional hurdles and societal pressures they may face. One of the first steps in overcoming these challenges is addressing the emotional impact of loneliness and self-doubt. A woman without friends may struggle with feelings of worthlessness, believing that her lack of social connections is a reflection of her inability to form relationships. Overcoming this requires cultivating self-compassion and understanding that the absence of friendships does not define her value as a person. Embracing self-love, focusing on personal growth, and recognizing the qualities that make her unique can help a woman rebuild her self-esteem. Therapy or counseling can also be a valuable resource in processing past hurts or emotional wounds that may have contributed to her isolation. Learning to be comfortable with solitude and finding fulfillment in personal pursuits can help shift the focus from what is lacking to what is already present in one's life. Another essential aspect of overcoming the challenge of having no friends is expanding one's social circle in intentional and manageable ways. For women who have experienced betrayal or disappointment in past friendships, the idea of forming new connections may feel daunting. However, it is important to approach this process gradually. Joining community groups, classes, or events related to personal interests can provide opportunities to meet like-minded individuals in a more natural and low-pressure environment. Volunteering, participating in local events, or even engaging in online communities centered around hobbies or passions can be effective ways to start building connections. The goal is not necessarily to form deep, lifelong friendships immediately, but to create an open and positive space where social interactions can develop over time. It may be necessary to reframe their concept of what friendship means. Not all friendships need to fit the traditional mold of spending frequent time together or maintaining constant communication. Instead, friendships can take many forms, from casual acquaintances to more intimate connections, depending on what works for the individuals involved. Reassessing what constitutes meaningful connection allows for greater flexibility and reduces the pressure to conform to societal expectations of what friendship should look like. Some women may find that having a small but supportive group of friends is more fulfilling than trying to fit into a larger social circle. Building friendships is also about fostering a sense of vulnerability and emotional openness. Many women who have been isolated for extended periods may find it challenging to let their guard down and trust others again. However, vulnerability is a crucial component of building genuine relationships. It involves allowing others to see one's authentic self, sharing thoughts, experiences, and emotions, and being open to receiving support. This vulnerability can feel intimidating, especially if past friendships have resulted in disappointment or hurt, but it is a necessary step toward forming deeper connections. Practicing vulnerability in small ways, such as engaging in honest conversations or sharing personal stories, can gradually build trust and lead to more meaningful interactions. Another challenge that women without friends often face is societal pressure to conform to the ideal of having a large social circle. The media and social norms often portray friendship as a key indicator of a woman's social success or worth. Overcoming this challenge involves rejecting these external pressures and redefining personal fulfillment. It is essential to recognize that friendship is not the only source of happiness or personal satisfaction. A woman can find joy in pursuing her passions, cultivating a career, or deepening her relationship with family members. By focusing on what brings her fulfillment rather than comparing herself to others, she can lessen the emotional burden of societal expectations and reclaim her sense of autonomy. The process of overcoming these challenges may involve seeking professional help when necessary. Therapy can provide a safe space to explore the underlying reasons for social isolation and offer strategies to build healthy, supportive relationships. Support groups or counseling for women who struggle with loneliness or social anxiety can also provide a sense of community and validation, reducing the feeling of being alone in their experiences. Speaking with a therapist or counselor can help a woman identify patterns in her relationships and guide her toward healthier ways of connecting with others. Overcoming the challenges of being a woman without friends is a journey that requires patience, self-compassion, and intentional action. By focusing on personal growth, expanding social opportunities, redefining what friendship means, and embracing vulnerability, women can break through the barriers of isolation and build meaningful connections. While the process may take time, the rewards, emotional fulfillment, self-awareness, and the joy of authentic relationships are well worth the effort. Empowering independence for a woman without friends can be a deeply transformative experience. It involves cultivating a sense of self-reliance, confidence, and emotional resilience that allows a woman to thrive even in the absence of close social connections. While friendship is often viewed as a cornerstone of emotional well-being, independence enables a woman to realize that her worth is not contingent on the validation or support of others. Instead, she can find strength and fulfillment within herself, leading to a more balanced and empowered life. At the core of empowering independence is the ability to embrace solitude. Solitude, when viewed positively, can become a powerful tool for self-reflection and personal growth. For women without friends, being alone doesn't have to translate to loneliness. Instead, it can be an opportunity to reconnect with one's passions, values, and inner desires. Engaging in activities such as reading, writing, learning new skills, or pursuing hobbies can create a sense of fulfillment that is not dependent on the presence of others. Solitude also offers the space to reflect on past experiences and relationships, allowing a woman to learn from her past and move forward with greater wisdom and emotional clarity. Empowered independence also involves redefining personal strength. Society often equates strength with social connections, but true strength lies in the ability to thrive on one's own terms. For women without friends, it is essential to recognize that independence is not a sign of weakness or failure, but a testament to resilience and self-sufficiency. It is a form of empowerment that comes from knowing that you can handle life's challenges and emotional ups and downs without relying on others for constant support. Cultivating emotional intelligence, understanding, managing, and expressing emotions in healthy ways also strengthens this sense of personal power. The more a woman develops her emotional resilience, the more equipped she becomes to face the world confidently, regardless of her social situation. A key aspect of empowering independence is building a sense of self-worth that is not dependent on external validation. A woman without friends may struggle with feelings of inadequacy or the belief that her lack of social connections makes her less valuable. To overcome this, she must work on affirming her intrinsic worth, irrespective of her relationships. This involves engaging in practices such as self-compassion, positive self-talk, and setting personal goals that align with her values. It is important for her to realize that her value does not come from the number of friends she has or the social circle she belongs to, but from the qualities that make her unique: her skills, creativity, kindness, and capacity for growth. Developing a healthy self-image fosters a deeper sense of inner strength, enabling her to remain grounded and fulfilled. Empowering independence means taking ownership of one's life decisions. A woman without friends may feel pressure from society to fit in or conform to social norms, but true empowerment comes from making choices that are authentic to her own desires. Whether it's pursuing a career, relocating to a new place, or following a personal passion, taking control of one's life path strengthens a woman's sense of agency. Independence is about trusting oneself to make the best choices for her happiness and well-being, even when those choices might not align with what others expect or deem conventional. Being independent doesn't mean completely rejecting the idea of connection or support from others. It means choosing to seek out relationships that are healthy, supportive, and meaningful. Empowered independence allows a woman to establish boundaries and discern what kinds of interactions are enriching to her life. While she may not have a large circle of friends, she can focus on creating a few authentic relationships that align with her values and contribute positively to her well-being. This selective approach to relationships reflects a deeper understanding of self-worth and the importance of quality over quantity in social connections. Another important aspect of empowering independence is learning to be self-sufficient in all areas of life. This doesn't mean doing everything alone, but rather feeling confident in one's ability to handle various aspects of life without relying on others for constant assistance. This could involve practical skills like managing finances, making important life decisions, or navigating career challenges. Emotional independence also plays a role here. It is about developing the ability to cope with life's difficulties without depending on others for emotional support. Learning to rely on oneself for both practical and emotional needs builds confidence and creates a sense of empowerment that transcends the need for external validation. Empowering independence is a journey of self-discovery and growth that allows a woman to thrive in the absence of close friendships. It involves embracing solitude, building self-worth, making authentic choices, and trusting in one's ability to navigate life confidently. By fostering emotional resilience, focusing on personal fulfillment, and cultivating self-reliance, a woman can not only overcome the challenges of being without friends, but also emerge stronger, more self-assured, and empowered in every aspect of her life.